The Pacific theater of World War II saw some of the fiercest combat ever recorded in history. Battles raged across islands, dense jungles, and coastal strongholds as U.S. forces fought to gain ground against the Japanese Empire. Central to this fight were two iconic rifles, the American M1 Garand and the Japanese Arisaka. But how did these rifles compare on the battlefield? Let's start with the American M1 Garand, a revolutionary weapon in its own right. Developed by John Garand, the M1 Garand was introduced as the standard-issue rifle for U.S. forces in 1936. It was the first semi-automatic rifle to be issued en masse to infantry forces, giving American troops a major firepower advantage. The Garand was chambered in .36 Springfield and had an 8-round en-bloc clip, which could be rapidly fired in semi-automatic mode. This meant soldiers could fire repeatedly, without having to manually cycle the bolt after each shot. In an intense firefight, this feature allowed American troops to maintain a much higher rate of fire compared to bolt-action rifles. The Garand's firepower proved invaluable in the close-quarter combat of the Pacific theater, where quick follow-up shots were often the difference between life and death. Whether fighting through the dense jungles of Guadalcanal or storming the beaches of Iwo Jima, American soldiers had a reliable and fast-shooting rifle at their side. On the other side of the battlefield, Japanese troops were armed primarily with the Arisaka rifle. While several versions existed, the two most common in the Pacific were the Type 38 and Type 99 Arisakas. The Arisaka, designed by Colonel Nariakira Arisaka, was a bolt-action rifle. It was chambered for the 6.5 by 50 mm or 7.7 by 58 mm cartridges, depending on the model. The bolt-action system was slower than the M1 Garand's semi-automatic mechanism, requiring the shooter to manually cycle the bolt after each shot. The bolt-action system of the Arisaka meant Japanese soldiers had to carefully aim each shot, and in fast-moving firefights, this often put them at a disadvantage against the rapid-fire capabilities of the Garand. However, the Arisaka wasn't without its merits. The Arisaka was known for its ruggedness. It could endure the harsh conditions of the Pacific theater, including the humid jungles and extreme weather. The Type 99, in particular, fired a powerful 7.7 mm round, packing more stopping power than the Garand's .3006. While it fired fewer rounds per minute, those shots had the potential to penetrate barriers and cause devastating damage. On the defensive, the Arisaka's accuracy and power were advantageous. Japanese soldiers, often dug into bunkers or hidden in the jungle, used the rifle's range to pick off advancing American forces. It wasn't designed for fast, mobile warfare, but for static defense, where a single well-placed shot could be enough to halt an attack. Another key difference between these rifles was how they were loaded. The M1 Garand used an en-bloc clip, which could be reloaded quickly, but famously made a distinct ping sound when empty. While this sound became iconic, some feared it could give away a soldier's position. The Arisaka, on the other hand, was loaded with a 5-round stripper clip. While it was slower to reload, the Arisaka had no obvious audible cues to indicate when it was empty. So, how did these rifles impact the outcome of battles in the Pacific? The M1 Garand gave U.S. troops a significant edge in terms of rate of fire and ease of use. In fast-paced combat situations, American soldiers could fire more rounds quickly, allowing them to overwhelm Japanese forces. However, the Arisaka, in the hands of skilled marksmen, was a formidable weapon. Its range, power, and reliability made it a deadly tool in defensive positions. While the Arisaka's bolt-action design was slower, it remained effective in the long-range engagements that were common in the early stages of the Pacific War. In the end, both rifles were products of their time and reflected the different tactics of their respective militaries. The M1 Garand, with its semi-automatic fire, was suited to the mobile, offensive operations of the U.S. Army. The Arisaka, rugged and powerful, was designed for defensive warfare in harsh conditions. While the rifles were just tools, the soldiers who wielded them defined their effectiveness. These weapons, alongside their users, played crucial roles in the fierce battles of the Pacific, leaving their mark on history. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into historical weaponry.